Welcome to episode 3 of You Think You Know podcast. Today's episode is going to be more about how the concept, the idea and the dream became a reality. In the previous episodes, I explained to you that I had a lot of naysayers. I had a lot of people that said no to the idea. I had a lot of investors show me a way and always had a reason why this idea and this concept couldn't work. But today it's a reality, and it's still far from being successful, but it is in the process of getting there. It's an idea that has a lot of potential. It's something that I came up with, and it evolved while being just a breeder. I've never seen myself or accepted myself being average. I've never accepted myself being somebody that just does something because that's the way it's done. I've always tried to be different. I've always tried to create. I've always tried to be something and somebody that my siblings, my parents, my close-knit circle could look at and be proud of. I'm the eldest of 3, and it's always been my job to inspire and guide my younger siblings. And I was put into a situation from a young age to be a little bit more responsible and to be a little bit more of a role model to them. And that's also something that shaped me into the visionary and the person that I am today. I'm going to speak about my life and things that has influenced and changed the way I think and the person I am. But that's going to be later down the line. So it was all a concept and a dream, and it was all an idea until one day I decided to put this idea on paper. I'm calling it an idea and I'm calling it a concept all the time, but the idea was always to be more, to do more in a specific space that I've decided to be in. And this space is because of passion and because of the love of a specific breed and love of animals in general, has been a space that I decided to be in as a service provider and somebody that is knowledgeable enough to help pet owners, dog owners in particular, with everyday situations. I've always had a obsession with research. I've always wanted to know more of a particular product and of a particular industry. So when I used to be a car salesman, I was not only a car salesman because that was what I needed to do to make ends meet, but I was also a car salesman because I loved cars, and I had an obsession about everything related to cars. Basics like the performance of a vehicle, the safety and the research and development behind the safety and the performance. And so I was a little bit more involved in sales with the client when I was selling a car. And I brought that behavior and I brought that type of mentality over to everything I do. So when I started breeding with the American Bully, I also started partnering up with a very dear now mentor and friend to me, somebody that has played a very influential and pivotal role in the current, the future, and the past of this concept and idea. And that person is Dr. Rachel Shuttleworth. She is the owner and veterinary doctor, fertility specialist at Cape Animal Fertility Hospital. She's also the founder and the owner of Ultimate Canine Nutrition. Ultimate Canine Nutrition is a premium dog food brand that I started getting involved with very early in my breeder's career. And This was a food option and nutrition option that was available to me that gave my dogs everything they possibly could need. Um, it's a grain-free, maize and soy-free dog food that had animal protein instead of plant-based protein. They didn't cut any corners when it comes to the ingredients used. With this involvement, it became a little bit more evident that I could offer more than just a breeder, more than just the guy that breeds dogs to sell dogs to make ends meet. And at this particular time, it was all a passive income or potential passive income situation. It was never something that I thought I could do on a full-time basis. But the idea started sort of evolving from me selling dog food and comfortably selling it because my dogs are obviously all on Ultimate Canine Nutrition and they've been doing well. So it's a product that I've had extensive experience with. But this product and the involvement in this product with Dr. Rachel allowed me to see the opportunity to offer more than just handing over a puppy to a client and making that client not only a temporary client but also potentially making that client a lifelong client while they have pets, while they have one of my production, my dogs that I produced. And this went on for about a year and a bit before I decided to look a little bit deeper into the pet industry as a whole. And I was offering, obviously, this Ultimate Canine Nutrition as a nutrition option for any dog that I sell, and every puppy that I sell would get a puppy pack from Ultimate Canine Nutrition, and that made that the clients was comfortable with continuing to buy from me. So my clients was not only just a client today, but it was monthly that I serviced this client by dropping off dog food, and I was doing it on a pickup and delivery basis. And then I realized, but there's so many services within the pet industry that I can potentially tap into. And all of these services that I could think about needed more space. And mind you, I was still working from home, backyard, and technically, and in all essence, I was a backyard breeder with a decent setup and facility, but essentially still just a backyard breeder, and now somebody that is a representative or a rep, a sales agent or a stockist of Ultimate Canine Nutrition. I always wanted to be more. So that's when the concept sort of started taking shape, and I decided, okay, if I need space, I need to have the funding to acquire the space, and once I acquire the space, I need the funding to build a presentable space. And what extent did I want to go? What did I want to do at this space was something that I started thinking about, and this was essentially the idea and the concept. And I decided I want to do something that is a continuous it's a continuous demand. It's something that people don't only need once or maybe twice in their pet owner's lifespan, but they need it continuously. They need it consistently. So I went and I looked at all the services that can be provided without extensive qualifications or extensive facility requirements from government or certain organizations, and I decided to come up with a concept that is now 80% functional in numerous services, and these services are extending from pet nutrition, accessories for pets, almost a fully functional retail shop, luxury indoor boarding that the kennels are temperature controlled. Each kennel has a specific size that I wanted to achieve. And it's a complete indoor facility. It's easy to maintain. We've got outside spaces where dogs can stretch their legs, be outside, socialize, interact with people and dogs. And also, I've got a separate puppy house facility that is geared to the whelping of puppies, and we can do up to 6 litters at any given time, with an indoor play space that's safe and secured for puppies, and our outdoor space that's there for mommies that needs a little bit of outside time and a time away from their puppies, and a grooming studio, and a training arena and training studio, and a massive outdoor route that my trainer or my staff can take dogs out for walks and be in nature a little bit. And this would never have been possible without, obviously, a journey to it. There was a building process. There was a journey to try and get funding for whatever I wanted to do. And because this was all a concept and it was never been done in our area, there was a lot of skeptical people around the idea. There was a lot of people that thought that it's a little bit too far-fetched and it's not really a profitable idea. But I knew that if this is put together well and it runs the way I need it to run, there's no reason for it not to be successful. So today we are located on a beautiful estate just outside of Paarl in the Western Cape in South Africa, between Paarl and Wellington. And we've got about 3,500 square meters to our disposal. My kennel building is 495 square meters. Each kennel is 11.25 square meters big. I've got 4 200 square meter grass runs or patches or play areas for dogs, where my trainer is not limited to weather conditions. He can work year round. At the moment, we're offering training for on a one-on-one basis for any breed, any dog, any family that needs a little bit of attention with regards to their pet, 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we wish once the service gets a little bit of traction, we get a bigger clientele, that we can offer it on a more consistent and more full-time or permanent basis. And we're also offering holiday care, boarded training. We are offering basic grooming at this stage. We are looking for a grooming partner that can come in and offer a more comprehensive service. And we are starting to now put a little bit more effort and time into our marketing and our exposure that we want for the facility. We are offering a whelping service for breeders. We are offering a care package for breeders. So if you are a breeder and you don't have enough space for your dogs, which 90% of breeders are limited to the amount of space and hands around their animals, we're offering services to prevent that of being a problem. The idea is now a physical working concept and business. There's a lot of areas and potential that I'm trying to extract from the space I have available. But this podcast is not about being a breeder. This podcast is about me being a visionary, me being an entrepreneur, me showcasing that even if majority of people around you are discouraging or discrediting your vision, your dream, your idea, if you have that determination, it is very possible for you to achieve anything you put your mind to. From the next episodes, I'm bringing a very dear friend of mine. We've got a probably 17, almost 20-year friendship that I'm going to bring up as a co-host, and I think it's very fitting and very appropriate for him to be a co-host to my podcast that soon will be our podcast, because he's seen it all. He's seen me at my lowest. He's seen me at my happiest. He's seen the potential. He's been one to just be there when I needed somebody. He's also on a journey to build something and some sort of platform for himself in his industry. So he sort of knows the challenges when it comes to doing something for yourself and not being reliant on consistent monthly income as a salary, and hustling and battling to make things or make something out of nothing. So I'll introduce him in the episode coming, but I want this podcast to be a discussion based. I want it to be fitting to the title of the podcast. And the reason I chose the title of this particular podcast, You Think You Know, is because there's plenty of situations, people, scenarios, environments that you think you know you belong in. You think you know the person. You think you know the best possible outcome of a certain opportunity. And those are the type of things that I want to discuss and talk about. And it's all part of the journey. It's all part of who I am today. It's all part of how I became the person and became the owner of a dream. And I think just me being alone on camera might not translate to the audience the way I wanted to. And I decided I need to bring a co-host, and the co-host sort of needs to be somebody that can relate and understand and has been part of the journey in a more emotional and mental support type of way. So I'm really trying to make people understand that what I have today didn't fall out of the sky. It didn't just happen. I'm not somebody that has money or has access to family funds or has parents that are in positions to support you outside of being moral support, outside of being just something or someone to talk to. I don't have family that has money to make things easier. I needed to do this from absolutely nothing. I've got a beautiful wife and 2 adorable kids that I need to support, and all of this came at a massive risk of not being able to support them. But thank God that I could manage to sustain a certain lifestyle and while still doing what I love to do, and that's essentially to create an environment, to create something out of nothing, to build a brand, to build a business, and to build a line of dog that is superior to anything else out there. And we're getting there. We're building a reputation for ourselves as Masalan Bullies. The story of Masalan Bullies is also something that is an ironic story. It's something that just I was at the right place at the right time, and I was with the right person, and it was determination to become better and part of the best. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the content. Please interact with us, engage with us, ask us questions, and we will try and make this content as knowledgeable and informative as possible by not being boring. we want to try and bring a fun element into it, but we want you guys to engage and ask us whatever you need to ask us, and whatever information you're seeking, we will try and help as wherever we can, and guide wherever and whoever we can. Thank you for listening. The next few episodes, it's not going to be just me alone, but there will be some sort of engagement with, like I mentioned, a very dear friend of mine, and we will take you on the journey with us. Thank you.